Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Winnie the Pooh on the Way to School. A set of film strips about getting to school safely. And now, Rabbit has a bicycle ride.
Nobody seemed to know where Tigger had got on the bicycle, but there he was, spinning around a clump of pine trees and having a marvelous time.
I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
That was the first thing Rabbit said after he and Pooh had been watching Tigger for about 10 minutes. And the next thing he said was...
What I don't like about this is that Tigger is doing something he shouldn't.
Oh, I see. What shouldn't he be doing, Rabbit?
Well, think about it, Pooh. Consider the significance of Tigger's riding a bicycle in front of Roo.
Consider the what?
Suppose Roo decides that he would rather ride on a bicycle than in Kanga's pocket. And what would be the result of that?
I don't know.
Well, Tigger and Roo could then plan a bicycle adventure. A leisurely trip around the 100-acre wood, perhaps. And then suppose they left us behind. Would that be polite?
I suppose not.
So what he is doing is definitely significant.
Well, yes. I suppose you're right, Rabbit.
And something ought to be done.
Look out, Pooh!
Fast!
Oh.
Aha, just as I thought. Did you see that, Pooh?
What?
He's definitely up to something. A something with a capital S. As far as I'm concerned, this calls for a conference with Christopher Robin. And the sooner, the better.
So the two friends headed for the other part of the forest. On the way, Rabbit declared that he would do the talking and ask all the important questions when they found Christopher. Pooh, who wasn't sure what an important question was, said that sounded like a good idea. Well, about the time the sun was slipping toward the horizon, they found Christopher playing in his favorite tree. Rabbit then asked him if Tigger and Roo were planning a trip. And Christopher said...
Tigger's not going on a trip with Roo. He's going to ride his bicycle to school tomorrow with me. You and Pooh can come along if you want.
Oh, I would like that.
It'll be lots of fun.
Well, I suppose it could be. But there's the question of rules and strategy and proper organization. What about that, Christopher Robin?
Well, you're good at things like that, Rabbit. So if you want to...
Very well. If you insist, I'll be in charge. Thank you. When do we leave?
Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Did you hear that, Pooh? Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. precisely.
And we can meet in front of my house.
Well, I was just going to say that. Christopher Robin, I think that a good place to meet would be in front of Pooh's house.
All right, Rabbit. That's just what we'll do.
Early the next morning, Christopher and Pooh were waiting near Pooh's front door as Rabbit and Tigger came riding up.
Hello!
Hello, everybody! Ho, ho, ho! Here's Tigger!
Hello, Rabbit and Tigger.
Well, here we are, nicely on time and ready to go.
Very good.
Then let's get started, because if there's anything Tigger's like, it's riding a bike to school. You saw me yesterday, Pooh. Wasn't I great?
Well...
Of course I was.
Wait a second, Tigger.
What?
Are you sure you're ready?
Oh, that's a silly question. Of course I'm ready. My muscles are tense, my eyes are keen, and my body is in splendid shape, and my stripes are striping all over the place.
Fine. But what shape is your bicycle in?
Oh, well, I haven't checked it.
But you should always make sure your bike is safe to ride before you go anywhere.
Well...
Is there enough air in the tires?
I'm sure...
Does it steer the way it should?
Well, yeah...
Is the front light working?
Is there
and
a...
brakes?
Oh, I guess.
The answer to that is yes, Christopher Robin. I've checked his bike.
Good for you, Rabbit.
The reflector on the back fender is clean, and he has a bike lock with him.
Yeah, what's a bike lock?
There it is, with a chain, too. I have the same thing on my bike. You see, when I leave my bike for a while, I lock it to a lamppost or a fence to keep it from being stolen.
But what if someone tries to steal it anyway?
I report it to the police, and they try to find it. But that's hard unless they have the serial number. There's one of these on every bicycle, and the police make a record of this number when you buy a bike license.
That's how they know who owns the bike.
What are you doing now, Christopher Robin?
I'm tying my books to the carrier. I always put things I have to carry back here. I can't control my bike if my hands are full, Tigger.
Say, I'll remember that.
We'd better start, Christopher.
Okay.
So with happy shouts and yells and the sounds of fallen leaves crunching under their wheels, they rode away together.
How do we get to school, Christopher Robin?
Well, I always go a special way. I call it the safest route.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a way of getting to school using the roads with the fewest cars, fewest bumps, and the best visibility. And just as important, I try to cross only at corners with traffic signals. They're the safest.
That's smart thinking. Or should I say, safe thinking.
Very good, Rabbit.
Oh, look, it's almost night again.
Ridiculous, Pooh. It's only a shadow.
It's amazing how you stand out, Christopher.
That's because of this light-colored jacket. Light colors make it easier for car drivers to see you in the dark times of the day, early morning and dusk. And at night, of course.
Did you notice, Pooh?
I noticed, Rabbit.
Enough of this talk. How about a little fun, like follow the leader? Come on, Rabbit. Come on, Pooh. Let's try some fancy stuff.
Hey, wait!
Oh, a daredevil rider is Tigger. There's hardly a one who is quicker. I can turn on a dime and still have the time to toss in a stunt that's a kicker. Get it? A stunt that's a...
Watch out!
Oh! Yow!
Tigger, are you all right? Say something!
Oh, if there's anything Tiggers don't like, it's bike rides.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Tigger.
Riding across someone's property is not very nice. You could have smashed up valuable plants and flowers, or other things that belong to the owner.
Well, I was doing a fancy stunt. I wasn't thinking.
Quite true. You gave a perfect example of not thinking. You did not think about safety. You did not think about other people's property.
You're absolutely right, Rabbit. Why didn't you say something before? Say, there's the street. Reach you to school.
Tigger!
Hold up, Tigger. You might have another accident.
Again? Why? What's the matter?
Follow me to that sign up there. I'll show you.
Okay, lead the way.
Wait for me.
Here we are.
Say, what's that?
Safety rules every bike rider should know before he gets into traffic.
Like zigging in and out between cars?
Oh, Tigger, you need this more than I thought. Now, listen carefully. The first thing you must know is that a bike is a vehicle just as a car is. And a bike rider must follow the same regulations as a car driver.
The very same?
The very same. First and most important, pedestrians have the right of way. Pedestrians!
Oh.
That means people who are walking.
Then that must mean that everyone is a pedestrian when he's walking, that is.
That's right, Pooh. And bike riders must be courteous to pedestrians.
I didn't know that.
Sure. And here are some other important regulations. In places where bike riding on the sidewalk is not permitted, you should obey the following rules. Number 1, ride your bike on the right side of the street or road, or inside the bike lane if there is one. Number 2, obey all traffic signs and signals. Number 3, use hand signals when making a turn. Hand signals are very important because they tell car drivers which way you're going to move.
If they don't know that, they can easily run into you when you make a turn.
What are the hand signals, Christopher Robin?
There they are. A turn signal is always made with the left arm. Up to turn right, straight out to turn left, and down to stop.
Are those
Traffic signs and signals. Some of the ones you should know. On the left is a regular traffic signal. When it flashes green...
It's safe to go.
And a red light means...
Stop.
Correct. But when you come to a traffic signal and you see the yellow light on, you must come to a stop because it's going to change to red.
But, Christopher, what if you're halfway across the street when the signal turns yellow?
It means hurry up, because it's going to turn red.
Oh, so a yellow light is really a warning light.
That's right.
Very good, Pooh.
This stop sign is used at many intersections. When you drive up to one, you must stop. Sometimes a careless bike rider will pay no attention to it and go right through the intersection.
And that's taking a terrible chance.
Yes, that's almost a sure way to cause a bicycle accident.
I know what those signs are, Christopher. The first is railroad crossing. Next is do not enter. And the third is...
Oh, one way.
That's it, Pooh.
I give up. All those signs are too much for me. I'll just ride on your handlebars, Christopher.
Oh, no. That's too dangerous.
Huh?
Especially where there's automobile traffic. I'd never be able to control my bike in an emergency. Just come along. We know the traffic regulations now, and if you do what I tell you, we'll all get to the school safely and on time.
Yeah, okay, we will.
Tigger?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
A few minutes later, Christopher Robin was leading his friends carefully along the street.
Everybody stay in single file. Don't bunch up. And don't make any sudden moves in and out of traffic. The important thing is to keep your eyes on where you're going. Fire engine! Everybody pull over to the curb and stop.
Oh boy, look at that.
A fire engine!
Fire engine, look at it go. Wow.
Oh, that was very exciting. I pulled over to the right and stopped, just like a car driver.
I'm proud of you, Pooh. That was exactly right.
Look, everybody, a free ride. Let's hitch onto the back of that truck. There's room for all of us. We can get to school in no time.
Absolutely not.
That's one of the most dangerous things a bike rider can do.
Anybody who hitches a ride is gambling with his life.
If an accident happens, it's almost always very serious.
Well, in that case, forget I mentioned it.
Come on, let's get going. We don't have much time.
By now, it seemed that most of their bike riding problems were solved. So they sped down the road, keeping to the right or staying inside the bike lane where there was one. Soon they reached the first traffic signal.
Signal the right-hand turn, everybody.
Yes,
Okay,
Christopher.
Christopher Robin, we'll do it.
Then, the second signal.
Christopher, look, no cars in the intersection. Hey, let's take a shortcut across it and get on the sidewalk.
No, it's too risky, and it's against the law. Just follow me.
And finally, the one in front of the school.
This way, everybody.
Okay, right behind you. We're here. We made it.
Safely and right on time. Okay, everybody. Stop in front of the bike rack. There. All I have to do now is lock my bike and I can go to my classroom. Done. Well, I hope you enjoyed riding your bikes to school with me. It's lots of fun if you do it safely.
It sure is.
I like it.
Rabbit, do you think you can lead Pooh and Tigger back home?
Of course I can. No question about it.
And Tigger, do you think you can remember the rules we just learned and not do anything dangerous?
What a question. If there's anything smart Tiggers remember, it's being smart about bike safety and traffic. I'm going to be careful as careful can be.
All right, then I'll see all of you tonight safe and sound at Pooh's house. And we'll plan a big bike riding adventure. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Christopher.
So Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit headed back, very safely, I might add. And that night, Rabbit suggested a leisurely bike trip around the 100-acre wood. And Christopher reminded them to set a good example for Roo, so he'd know the right thing to do when he gets old enough to ride a bike to school.